All right, it is now day number 19. You are making it through, and honey, so am I. Welcome to day 19 of our 30K in 90 days challenge. My name is Tracy Walker, and I am a baseball mom. I am a documented seven figure digital marketer. I've done extremely well in the network marketing spaces using online strategies and content creation and digital resources, as well as the affiliate marketing space. All right, and even now with master resale rights, things of that sort. All right. Number two, I am a well, my brain is going crazy. I am a automations expert, marketing automations expert. Lord, this is live, okay? So there's no editing. There's no, oh my goodness, go back, get it right, say it perfect. No, you guys are gonna get what it is on tonight, and my job with that and my role in that is that it is very, very useful to me in my life as a single mom who I don't want to say is very busy, but I do tend to have a lot of moving parts happening throughout my day where I'm not necessarily stationary or just in one place. I need to be able to work from my phone. I need to have flexibility and having automation, meaning things like this video that will be playing after we're done here. It will play on and on and on forever as an asset. People can come back and watch it. It will do the work for me. That's a form of automation, right? Sales funnels and sales processes, things that allow people to go to a website, put their email in, and review information in detail that allows them to make a buying decision is a sales automated process, which means I do not have to manually get on a Zoom, get on the phone, talk for 2 hours, DM you forever, meet you at the Starbucks, right? It takes a lot of the heavy lifting off of my back and puts it on the back of the system. Okay. And so I like that. We call that leverage. We call it leverage. All right. And so it's been vital in my life. And so if you are a person who wants to, free up more of your time so that you can spend time with family, go places, travel, do things you want, just, lay in a bed, take a nap sometimes if you want to, or go to the pool or take a little vacation, a staycation. When you have automation in place, it allows you to do that. All right. So those are the things that I bring to the table. And today, we are going to jump right in and talk about the 4 types of buyers, and even more specifically, which of the 4 types of buyers are you? All right. Now, if you are going to be successful and make money in the digital marketing space, you must understand who your buyer is. Now, we have spoken in previous sessions, okay, previous days already, things that make up your target market, certain type of characteristics that they have. In other words, maybe the age, the amount of income, maybe the level of education, the career that they're in, where they live, right? What type of marital status, if they're married, or how many children. Those are things that can help you really start to hone in on the type of person that they present in a social environment. Those are just things that help you find them, right? Like you want certain things, these are really kind of external things, okay? And these things really can change, right? Somebody could be making 150 grand today and not making that tomorrow, right? Somebody could be living in this house today and not. Somebody could be married today and then not. Somebody could have a house full of 3 children, and then at some point all the children are gone. There's no children, right? So these are things that can ultimately change. But what's even more important than that, I would call that like more identifiers, right? What's more important than the identifiers would be who the target person truly is. Like, what's their personality? Psychologically, how does this person buy, right? How do they make decisions? What kind of personality do they have? How do they thrive? All right. How do they interact with people and advertising and marketing? That's really, 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 really important. And I'm going to share with you what those personality types are. And let me just preface this by saying I have probably been teaching this concept for, I don't know, maybe the last 10 years. Okay. So it is not a new concept. It is not something I created, but I've been teaching it. I've taught it on stages. I've taught it on Zooms. I've taught it on trainings. I've taught it in network marketing conferences. I've spoke on affiliate marketing conferences and affiliate marketing conferences, in different networking events, because it's one of those things that it spans beyond, it goes outside the scope of just marketing. I find understanding these personalities to be useful because it also helps just with day to day interactions with people, with relationships that you have with your children or spouse or, significant other, people that you're socializing with on social media, right? Even when you're scrolling, sometimes the desire that you have to respond to certain things, you know, maybe if you understood the personality of the person that's typing it, then you understood what your personality was too, you could now view that thing that may kind of make you feel a type of way, as not such a big deal because you understand better, right? And it is not anything personal against you and your morals and your values. It's just other people have different ones, and it doesn't make theirs right or wrong, but it just means they're different. And your superpower, okay, an advantage that you can have is to be able to see people. In other words, you can read people, right? You can read people. And when you can read people, you know, it can be a great thing, but sometimes it can be a challenge because you can see people and you can see things and you can observe and understand and really intuitively know what's going on. And then sometimes people don't even know that about themselves. And it can be a little challenging because you don't want to try to tell somebody about their self, but because you know the inner workings and maybe they're not tapped into that as of yet, it can be an awareness level that can frustrate you at times because you're like, how can people not see this? Right. So, in any case, Spider Man with his power of the web, hey, if he shoots the web out and it's going haywire, it could be a problem. But when he learns how to use the power of the web, it can be a very vital, extremely valuable, vital asset. And that's what I want this knowledge and this education today to be for you. Okay. So let's jump right into this. Again, we're talking about the types of buyers. Now, why is this important really quickly? Because when you understand how a person is thinking, when you understand how a person makes decisions, when you understand what is important to a person, then as a marketer, you are able to craft messaging, you are able to speak words, you are able to have any type of copy or pictures or whatever, and it can actually speak directly to that person in their heart or in their mind in the way that compels them to take the next step. If the next step is just putting in an email, then that's what it is. If the next step is then reading the sales page, the sales copy, right? The information, the details, then that's what it is. If the next step is calling you on the phone or sending you a text or requesting you as a friend, or even if the next step is just them simply pushing the buy button and actually buying, we want to be able to identify the type of person who would need it, which is more of like the demographic type of stuff, right? But then we want to use our personality type knowledge to be able to put that message together that pushes them to that next level. Okay. This is all legally, morally, and ethically. Okay. You have to have a level of ethics when you understand how people think, because most people don't even know how to, well, most people don't even think, let alone know how they actually think. Okay. And when you have the power to see people and how they're thinking and they don't know how they're thinking, it can be something that you can use to help a lot of people. Okay. And that's what we want to do. We want to help people and we want to put things in their hands that allow them to make their lives easier, things that they desire, things that they believe are going to be helpful to them, and make sure that they get it. All right. That's the power of it. All right. So I am going to go over this with you, and I want you to pull out a piece of paper. I should have said that a few moments ago. Pull out a piece of paper or pull out something for you to take a note on or take notes on, because you're going to need to write a few things down. You're not going to need to write a thesis. You're not going to need to write a bunch of notes, but you are going to have to make a little drawing. Okay, you are going to make a drawing, and I'm going to go through that with you here. All right, so let me go ahead and add this up to the stage. This is just a whiteboard that I have over on Canva. Okay, a free whiteboard over on Canva. So if you ever need to use a whiteboard and you don't have Canva, you might want to go get Canva. All right, so here we go. This is the chart, okay? And this is the basic outline of how it works. So the axis that is going up and down, right? This one right here. At the top this is open, and the top, this is closed. This is genuinely, okay, genuinely, generally, okay, speaking, open and closed means in reference to the type of um, whether they're whether they are more introverted or whether they're more extroverted, right? So it's kind of like it's just introversion or extroversion. Now, let me also, so open would be more of an extrovert and closed would be more of an introvert. But let me make sure you have a clear understanding of what introvert and extrovert really is. Most people like to define being an introvert as someone who likes to be to themselves, and an extrovert as someone who likes to be all out and very social. Now, I do not disagree, but that is not the true core meaning of introvert or extrovert. It's not the core meaning of it. Okay. You might find that those two things might be um, a visible characteristic that you may observe majority of the time with those types of people. But the reality is that when a person is an extrovert, it means that they process their emotions externally. In other words, if I am an extrovert, and let's say I'm thinking of buying a new purse, right? But I'm not sure because my husband has already told me that I shouldn't spend any more money on purses because I've spent $2,000 on purses this week already. This is the example, okay? So now I feel a type of way, right? I might feel a type of way. So I'll go over to my girlfriend. I'll call up and I say, hey, listen, hubby won't let me get this. He's talking about I shouldn't buy this bag because I spent 2,000 on bags already. This week. And I just really feel like this, and I feel like that, and I feel like this or that. And you start telling your friend what you're feeling, right? And so then your friend gives you something back, which means you are speaking and you are processing your emotions in an external way. You are even communicating with people in an external way about the thing to maybe even help you process this, right? An introverted person is not necessarily just a person that likes to be alone, okay? A more introverted person processes their emotions more internally, which means that if they are going through something or this same scenario with the wife and the husband, this particular wife, she's going to sit in the closet and she's going to be like, Lord, why won't this man let me get this bag? Like, how can I get this bag? Right. And then all day she's kind of thinking about it and how can she speak to him about it? And how can she come up with a solution for it? Right. And she would never talk to anybody external about her feelings and emotions. She's going to process these things internal to herself. That is really what introversion is about. Now, because the introvert processes information internally, they can show up as being more to themselves, but it doesn't mean that. This is why people like me, if you hear anything, right, I would say, and people like me would say, we're more of like introvert extroverts, right? We're extroverted introverts. Like we're both, right? Why? Because ultimately it's not about whether you like to be around people or not be around people. It's not about whether you're just a hermit or whether you just out in the crowd. It's really about how you process, right? So for me, I process a lot of information internally, right? And I will seek guidance. I will go and get advice from not necessarily from other people that I know and share it, but I might educate myself on a topic, right? Go to Google, go to YouTube, educate myself on a topic, look at some Instagram reels, watch some videos or something, right? I might be receiving external information, but I am internally processing this information, right? And I'm gathering these thoughts and I'm putting these things together and I'm helping it to I'm allowing it make sense for me without needing the help of like my girlfriend or this or that, right? But also, I like to be around people too, right? I like to be around people until it's too much. And then I'm done, right? So I mean, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer. I've been in events where I've spoken in front of 5,000 people at one time, right? 6,000 people at one time. And naturally, when you come off stage and you're talking to people in the hallway or in the after party or whatever it is, you naturally have a crowd and you're sharing and you're giving advice and you're pouring into other people as best you can. So I can be around people and I like to be around people, but that's not, and sometimes I will process information externally. I will ask people what they think or ask people for what their advice, right? But it all depends on whether I believe that that person has the emotional intelligence level or the intellectual intelligence level or whatever it is to be able to counsel unbiased, right? So I can make a decision. So open and closed is really based on how people process information, whether they're extrovert or introvert. Okay. Now, indirect and direct, this axis, okay, this is really about a person's communication style. How do they communicate? So I can process information, let's say internally, but the way that I communicate with people might be right to the point. If you ask me how I feel, I might be like, I am well, and this and that, and let me tell you what happened, and over here, and I was running around, and right, I'm very direct, right? And I'm giving you the details. Indirect, the communication style is a little bit you sometimes you have to pry out of people stuff. You guys ever felt that way? Like you're speaking with somebody and it's like, how was your day? Fine. Okay, so what'd you do? Oh, went to work. All right. And so did you eat lunch? Right. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that. The direct person, you don't really have to ask 20 questions to get to the nitty gritty. You get what I'm saying? So the communication style may be indirect versus direct. And the way people process information, right, may be open or closed. So these are the axes. And that those two axes create these four quadrants. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about each one. Okay. So this one right here, I am going to write this one out and I am going to put it in the proper color that it is. Okay. And this would be the yellow color. Okay. So here I'm going to do my best to type the word yellow. Okay, now I am typing on a mouse trackpad. Do not judge me with my penmanship. Okay, there we go. So I know it might be a little bit hard to see. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can make this. Oops, can't do that. Let me see if I can make this a different color. Hold on. Maybe make it can't be super bright yellow, so I might need to bring it down maybe to something like that. Let me see how that works. Okay, so hold on. Let me come back to this. Let me see if I can make it this color. It's not really yellow, but all right, we'll just leave it alone. Okay, you guys can see that. It says yellow, damn it. It says yellow, in case you didn't know. All right, so the yellow personality, the yellow type of buyer, they are an open, right? They process information open, and they're a little bit more indirect in the way that they communicate. Okay, now just to give you an idea, the yellow personality type of person is what we would call like a professional helper. Okay. If you look at the type of career that yellows usually have, they are usually helping people. And let me just say this too. Nothing I'm saying is a 100% absolute because I know sometimes people hear training or teachings and in their mind, they are hearing that all people are this way. And there is no absolute. But what we're talking about is the way that a person is the majority of the time. Because all of us actually have all four of these different colors that we're going to go over, but the percentage of the mix will be greater in certain colors than others, right? So we're talking about the dominant personality here, not the only, because you can be a mix. And pretty much everybody is a mix of all four, but we're talking about the dominant personality majority of the time, okay? So the person that is the dominant yellow usually is the professional helper. They have jobs like nursing, they have jobs like teachers, they might have jobs like I don't know, we don't really have librarians anymore like that, but they really do. That's something like librarians or like even like midwives, right? Things like this. These are people, doctors, okay? These are people that dedicate their lives essentially to helping other people, making sure other people go from point A to point B, right? Like I'm a teacher, right? In this sense, I'm an educator in this sense. So I do have some yellow in me. Okay. I do have some yellow. I have a lot of yellow in me from that standpoint. Yellows, because they are open, right? They're usually very social because they don't mind expressing themselves and talking to people and this, right? And processing information externally. They're going to ask questions. Well, what is that? Well, how about that? Well, how do I get that? Girl, I saw that Rolls Royce. What do I got to do to get that? Right? That they're asking and they're talking. They're usually very, very social people. However, okay, well, also, let me just say this. They're very creative, usually. Okay. The more dominant yellow person, they're creative beings. All right. Now, when you're talking about a buyer, if you understand that your target market based on, whatever it is that you're selling is, and you're selling to nurses or you're selling to teachers, you're going to have to understand that their dominant personality type, their dominant buyer behavior is going to be in the yellow. So if your communication and your marketing isn't saying things like, here's how you can help somebody else to achieve their goals, right? If you aren't saying that, they're not going to connect. If you aren't saying things like, let's help more people to live their lives free, let's do it together, right? If you aren't saying that, you're not going to trigger the mind of the yellow to say, yeah, let's do it, right? Because together is a community. And remember what I said, they're social. They're very social. So if we do it together as a community, it's everybody involved. Yay, right? That's them. So if you don't want to turn the yellow off and you want to market to this personality type, this buyer, you've got to speak in the terms of together, helping others, being creative with things, being enthusiastic, right? Like personality, right? You kind of have to be a little bit more. I'm not saying you got to be like over the top, but I am saying that you do need to be aware that that is how they process. And that's how they know you're talking to them. You have to speak their language, in other words. You have to speak the language of the yellow personality if you want the yellow personality to buy. Okay? That's how that works. All right. So now let's move along. We're going to go over a little bit to this quadrant. And this is going to be your blue personality, your blue buyer. Okay? Now, let's talk about the blue. Okay? Now that you all know what open, closed, direct, and indirect means, right? So the blue is very similar to the yellow in the fact that they process stuff outside, right? They process stuff outside of themselves. They don't mind having discussions about it, right? Usually they're very enthusiastic and stuff as well. But the blue is way more direct, okay? They would be the person that, if you were to have a networking event, they're going to show up, right? They're usually the person that is going to be a life of a party in a sense, right? They're going to be talking to everybody in the room. They're not afraid to talk to people. They're going to be very direct. Like, here's my business card, right? Call me. What's yours? Wait, what's your mama name? What's your social security number? Like, I need to know, right? That's the blue. They're usually very fun. As well. Another thing with blue personalities is they are perfectionists, right? They like things to be a certain type of way. All right. And again, remember, we're talking about the dominant personality. All of us have different traits in all four, but the dominant person, so this might be like an OCD person, okay, look, it's got to be in this way. Now, I will also say this, something about a blue is because they have so much going on and they're taking in so much information all the time, they can be very indecisive. It's not a bad thing. It's just they have a lot of information. And so it's not that they're indecisive because they are afraid to make a decision. Sometimes it's they're unable to make a decision because they want to do so much so fast all the time. Right? So it's hard for them to focus. Maybe hard to focus. Okay. So that's your blue. So now if you're marketing to the blue type of person, then your marketing really needs to be focused on how much fun you could have if you were making more money, right? You could then go on that vacation to Jamaica and make sure you jump off of the Rick's Cafe the little ledge thing. I did that before, actually, right? You jump off that thing, and how much fun it would be to be hanging out with your friends and having a good time and doing these different things, right? But also know that they're not going to be able to decide whether they want to go to Rick's Cafe, whether they want to go to the River Duns, whether they want to go to this or to go to that. They want to go to Montego Bay if they want to, right? Because there's so much they want to do. So when you're marketing to a blue, you already know that they're going to have a hard time making a decision. So if you give them a way to make the decision that allows them to get all of those different things at one time, they'll make a decision. So if I can say to you, listen, what you get to do is travel and have fun. What you get to do is have your family and friends with you. What you get to do is enjoy the event that's going to be taking place on Friday night, the party on Friday night and Saturday night, the white party. And what you get to do is make money and have, the best time of your life and never have to worry about being, ball and chain to a desk ever again. Oh, they buying. Honey, they are buying. So you have to know that if you're selling something, like if you sell travel, okay, you're trying to market travel, you got to market to the blue personality, because the blue personality is the one that wants to travel and have a ball and be on the cruise ship acting a fool every night for 7 nights. That's that person. So if you can't describe what you're selling in a way using words and pictures and visuals that attract the blue, that let the blue know, oh, that's me, that's me, that's me, your blue not going to buy. So you got to use the right language. Again, you got to speak the right language of the blue in order for the blue to want to buy. Got it? Okay. So now let's come on down to these bottom two quadrants. All right. So now we're going to move over here to this quadrant. And this is going to be our green personality. Okay. Okay. That's horrible. Hold on. Let's try that again. I couldn't get that R and the E to get together. Okay. R. Okay. Let's move up a little bit. Here we go. E. Uh-oh. Close. Okay. Here we go. Think we might be safe this time. Perfect. There we go. Green. All right. Now your green personality, your green buyer is now indirect in their communication, right? So they're not going to be as talkative. They're not going to be as, social, right? They're opposite from the yellow, right? From that social part. Okay. Because they're not open, they're closed. And they're going to process a lot of information internal. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means that generally speaking, your greens are going to be the people that analyze everything, right? They're going to be the person that when you present an offer to them about what you're selling, they want to know a lot of the details. They're very detail oriented. These people, they're active listeners. Okay. They analyze and they have empathy, right? So when you tell a story, and let's say you're trying to sell something to a green, you want to tell stories that talk about the details that helped someone to make a decision, right? So for example, let's say I am selling pens, right? Let's say I'm selling this pen, okay? And with this pen, and I'm talking to a green, I want to talk about the specs, right? The specifics. Here's the deal. This, I don't know if it is or not. I'm just using an example. The point, it is a 1-inch point, a black point pen, right? What that means is that it's going to allow you to be able to write and to draw, and it's going to be smooth across the page, right? Also, there's a cap that covers it so that it doesn't leak outside of the actual pen itself, and nor does it get on the thing of your pinky, especially if you are a lefty, right? If you're a lefty, it will not get on this. I'm just making up stuff, right? But you guys get what I'm saying, the details, right? In addition, it has a smaller fit so that it can fit right inside the pocket of your suit jacket. And because of the cap, the tight cap, it will not leak into your cap, into your suit pocket, the lining of it. Okay. Now, in addition to it, there are only 50 of these made. They were made by Bic. Bic is a company that is out of, you see what I'm saying? They got to know that type of stuff, right? They are owned by this company and they've made this amount of millions and billions over this quarter of the year, and they've sold this many pens. Okay. Now, this pen is mainly used by artists or architects, okay, because greens are going to be your analysis type people. So these are going to be people like accountants, like engineers, like architects. These are people that can operate on their own, and they can do numbers, and they can focus, and that's them, right? So when you're talking to them, you want to say things and you want to speak in a way where they hear themselves in using what you're selling. So with the pen, see, a lot of architects use this, or we found that many accountants love using this pen because even if you make a mistake, guess what? It's erasable. You guys get what I'm saying? So, and listen, maybe this stuff is true or not in terms of the story that I'm giving you. But what I want you to understand and take away is that you have to give details. You can't be like, oh, we're going to have fun like the blue. You can be like, oh, we're going to have fun. We're just going to, right? And we're going to be on the cruise ship and we're going to have 5 parties a day. The green is saying, well, at what time? What time is party 1? Okay, well, and then what time is party 2 exactly? And then party 3, on what side of the ship is party 3? Okay, and what exactly do I need to wear at party 4? How long is this gonna be, right? And what time does it end, right? That's the green, right? So that's that. The yellow was like, well, we don't care what time it is as long as we can do it together. As long as we can all have fun together, we can take pictures, and we can have memories, and we can help people to remember how good God is to them, right? It's that, all right? And the green is like, yeah, but what exactly is in the punch? And who's the manufacturer of the punch? Okay. So you guys get what I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, but the green is the person that analyzes. So when you're talking to this person, if you're selling something that has to do with like in legacy, right? We sell a lot of e-learning and education. The green person is going to want to know, well, what are the modules? What exactly is being taught in each of the different modules, right? And how long is each module, and how many videos are there, and how long are each videos, about how long it's going to take me to get through the material, right? When you understand, if somebody asks you that you're speaking with a green more likely than not, it doesn't mean they don't have any of the other colors. It means their green is showing up for them right now. Your ability to sell to that person is going to be based on your ability to speak in terms of details. If you cannot be flexible in speaking with details with green, speaking togetherness and helpfulness with yellow, speaking fun and lots of options with blue, you're going to limit yourself as a salesperson. In addition, in your regular relationships, you're going to be very rigid. You're not going to be able to be flexible. In other words, you won't be able to read people. So how can that be helpful or harmful to you? If you can't read people, then that means you don't really know what you're getting into, or you don't know whether someone has your best interest or not, because you don't even know how to see them and try to identify through what they say, what they do, how they act, how they respond. It's hard for you to identify where they fit, because if you can figure out where they fit, then you can adjust yourself to navigate that. Right? And it's more fluid for you because you're not pinned down in any one of these. Either you understand who you are, but you can adjust with who you are if you need to be. It doesn't mean become someone you're not. It means adjust if you need to. And if you don't want to or don't need to, you don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to. What we like in life are options. And if you know that you can be flexible between a green and a blue, and you choose to switch from thinking like a green and now you're focused on the blue, you can. If you don't even know that that dynamic exists, you cannot. And then this is why you're saying, oh, this happened, right? And you're trying to be so rigid. All right. So you've got yellow now, you've got blue, and you've got green. Now let's move on to our final one here for the night. Okay. Our final one. And this would be our red personality. Okay. Our red buyer. Right. Now, our red buyer is a unique little person. Okay. Well, they're all unique, but the red person, they are direct and they are close. So direct means that they will communicate to you what they are, what they need to say to you. Can't say what they feel, but it's like whatever they need to say. Okay. But they're closed in the sense that they will process information on their own, right? So generally a red personality is motivated by achievement. These are going to usually be like your CEOs or your business owners, okay? Your serial entrepreneurs, your people who are, uh, um, like the fancier things of life, right? I don't want to just say materialistic only because it's not that. But these are people that are very driven. These are very, very driven people. Okay. So what this means is that a red, if you think of yourself as a CEO, right? A red might have a problem with the team, right? The team at work or the team in your business or the team that works for you, whatever. There's a challenge with the team, and everybody comes to you and they share with you, hey, hey Tracy, we're having a problem with the advertising message, and the three of us, we're having a little battle. We don't really know how to get to it, so we want to come to you. We want to share with you our three ideas, and maybe you can help us pick something, right? So they'll share that with the CEO, and the CEO will say, well, let me think about it, right, tonight, and I'll get back with you guys on this tomorrow, right? So the CEO goes home and they think about it. They think about it internally. They process the different options internally. They consider this factor. They consider that factor, okay, right? And that's how they process it. Now, when they come back the next day to give you what they say, they're going to tell you very directly, well, this shit right here, that sucks. Okay, whoever came up with that idea, I probably should fire you today. Okay. However, this over here, I think is the absolute best thing to do. In fact, that's the one I want you to do. Okay. Because this other thing is stupid. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but they're very direct. Okay. And it's not designed to hurt your feelings. It's designed to be direct so that you don't have any stones unturned. You cannot ever come back and say you didn't understand what they were saying because it's so crystal. It's so crystal that to not get it is you don't want to get it, or you feel offended, right? Your feelings are hurt, you're involved. Okay, it's that. But the direct person, the red and the blue, they're going to tell you exactly what it is. No, I don't like that shirt. You asked me, do I like your shirt? I said no. Now you're mad at me because I said I didn't like the shirt. Well, what should I have said? Yes? Should I have lied to you? Or maybe you wanted me to say, well, I think, right? You wanted me to act like this, more indirect. Well, you probably could choose a little different shade of the color, maybe, right? You want me to do that, but I'm this. No, that color looks hideous. Okay. Everybody can't handle that. And reds understand that. This is why I said they're very unique in that sense. They don't mean any harm and they don't want to cause any fouls. But you, as a person, if you understand this, then you can communicate without being taking anything personal. So if I am marketing to a red, if I'm marketing to a very driven person, if I'm marketing to a person who likes finer things, who likes luxury, right? And it doesn't mean that other ones don't like luxury. It's just that the red is motivated by a lot of those things, the achievement. If there's a contest in your company, the red personality wants to win the contest, right? That's what they are. They're competitive. They're competitive like this. Okay. So if you're marketing to a competitive person, then you've got to speak to them in a way that helps them believe that this is going to help them to win, right? So when you buy this training course, it's going to allow you to be able to dominate in the digital marketing space so that you are the number one salesperson. You're creating the most effective type of content, and you will be the number one person at the top of the search on Google, right? Now, that person's like, oh yeah, I want that. I want that. Because the yellow person ain't thinking about being on the top of Google. The yellow person is like, well, will I help more people at the top? The red is, I don't care who getting helped. Am I number one? Because if this is going to help me get to be number one, am I going to be the number one in the contest? Am I going to have most earnings at the end of the quarter? Because if so, I'm buying. Right? The blue is like, well, okay, well, are we going to have fun with this? Because if we ain't having no fun, I ain't going. Right? Like, this is ridiculous. I want to have some fun. I want to make some money. Yeah, I don't mind being at the top, but it can be boring. Because if it's boring, I ain't going. The green is like, Yeah, well, exactly what's required. How many spots are there on the first page of Google? Right? You get what I'm saying? So when you understand this, you can market in such a way that you can be flexible, but likewise, you still come off as the person who can market the same thing different ways, which is why you have to have different pieces of content. See, people are like, well, and I say all the time, we got to come with a different angle, right? In marketing, we speak in terms of angles, right? Well, what's the angle, right? So when I say you got to have different, you might have one piece of content. In fact, I think yesterday's training was it yesterday. I think yesterday's training was literally about how you can go to your Instagram, right? See the piece of content that got the most views, and then create other pieces of content around that topic so that you can talk to that particular demographic. But even if I am talking to single moms over 40 that make, 60, 70 plus $1,000 a year with 1 to 2 children, okay, even if that is my demographic, but if I'm talking to the red lady with that, I've got to go back and remember that I look at my content. Was my content talking about how I could help people change the world? Because my red is not attracted to that. Now I got one piece that's talking about let's save the world, but now I need to go create that same piece and talk about how, being able to show up and be the number one parent for your children. Right? Showing up and making sure that not only are you dominating at work and not only that, but you have all the money that you need, you are top notch, all your bills are together, and you still get to be the mom, and your kids are going to love you because they're going to think you're the best mom ever. Right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It takes practice. I've been doing this a long time. It takes practice. But this training is really about you being aware that it even exists. And if you are aware that it exists, hopefully now you can actually begin to see things through a different lens. So when I'm looking at Facebook and I see, or I'm looking at YouTube and I see ads that come on in between content that I'm watching the content not to consume as a buyer. I'm watching the content as a way to understand who are they talking to. And if I'm watching this video, they targeted me. They targeted me. And if these things that they're saying in their headlines, if they're saying these things in their hooks, the message that is attracting me, what part of me are they attracting? Are they attracting my competitive side as a red? Are they attracting my fun side as a blue? Are they attracting my green side as a person that as an analyzer? Or are they attracting my yellow side as a professional helper? Which side of me are they calling? Right? And I can assess it. You can do that with people all day long. I do that with people all the time, right? I do it with people all the time. And sometimes I'll get bothered by things depending on who they are, right? Because they might be my friends or someone I care about, right? I'm like, how come you don't see this? But then other times I'm like, I can't worry about it because I understand who I'm dealing with, right? And it's either I want to deal with the person continuously or I don't want to deal with that person. I want this person to be my friend. I don't want this person to be my friend. I want this person in my house. I don't want this person in my house, or I do, but I'm not mad at the person and really at all, right? It's because I understand and I have the power to now decide how I want to approach it. It's a very, very empowering position to be in for self. Because when you know these things, you can approach the market a lot differently. All right. So I hope that that was valuable for you here on today. And I want to make sure that we are able to continue this journey of education, right? Continue the digital marketing understanding, continue how you can show up being who you are, whether you are red, whether you are yellow, whether you are green, whether you are blue, and then be able to present yourself and adjust accordingly, right? So, right now, I want you to understand, or I want you to ask yourself, which one of these four types of buyers are you? What kind of buyer are you, right? What kind of buyer are you? Dominant wise, right? Why are you mainly buying things? Are you mainly buying things that you think is going to help you? It's going to help yourself. It's going to help somebody else, your family. Are you buying things because you believe is you're going to excel, you're going to crush it, you're going to win the contest, you're going to be perceived as the best ever? Are you buying it because it's going to allow you to be free and have fun and enjoy your life and enjoy yourself and not have to worry about a care in the world because you got so much going on in your mind anyway? You don't want to focus on nothing. You just want to be unfocused. Or are you buying it because you believe it's going to actually be beneficial to you in some sort of way where it practically can enhance your life by doing some very specific function that you can count on? And statistically, it's proven to work that way. Why do you buy? Okay. So I want you to think about those things. And then I want you to head over to www.makemoneywithtracy.com. And I want you to watch the video. Well, I want you to put your email in that box first. Then I want you to watch the video that's on that page. And I want you to think about which personality type you are identifying with as you are watching that video. And think about what you are hearing and what is actually exciting for you to buy, right? What's exciting for you to buy, or why it's exciting for you to buy? Like, what do you believe you're going to get out of the legacy program, right? If you're, and let me just share with you, if you're the yellow person, listen, what you're going to get with legacy is you're going to get a community. Okay, it's called digital growth. You're going to get a community. We have over 30,000 people in this community that are all dedicated to helping members to have a better understanding, to navigate their thoughts, to navigate even successes and failures, to motivate you, to encourage you. There's Zooms, there's webinars, there's trainings that you always have support, and you're never going to be alone. See how that works? Now that's true, but that's what I would say if I'm talking to a yellow personality, right? That's why in a closing, that's why somebody would say that, right? Then I might say, but let me tell you this. We have so much fun. There's so many entrepreneurs that share their success stories. There's so many people when we get on the Zooms that are having a good time, that are celebrating, that really love being a part of this community, because when they are at home, they're not around people who are actually in love with what they do. But in the digital growth community, we absolutely love what we do. And it's so much fun getting up every day, really being connected to your dream and to your passion. And we are going to make sure that you have that experience, right? That's how I would present it if I'm talking to you as a blue. As a green personality, if you're listening to this, this is what I would say. When you get started and when you become part of the Legacy Builders program, we're going to take you step by step, video by video, and give you all the details that you need in order to implement and execute effectively. There's no fluff in this. There's no wasted time in this. The videos are concise. The videos get right to the point. And after each video, you will have a concept that you can actually master if you would take the necessary steps to actually do the thing. And once you do the thing, then you'll have the stats. The market will give you feedback on how well that thing is so that you can adjust and either improve what you're doing or make some adjustments or make some minor adjustments because it's actually good the way it is. But it's very detailed. You don't have to worry about it. And there has been no stone unturned. Got it? See, the green person. Okay. Now the red person. The red person is, listen, this is going to be a very comprehensive educational e-learning program that is going to allow you and give you the tools that you need to make the right decisions so that you can provide for your family on a day-to-day basis. Okay. You're going to be in position to earn upwards of $900 a day, right? That is roughly, $38,000, I think, or $380,000 a year. Now, with that type of money coming in as additional income, you can upgrade your house. You can have the best house on the block. Your car, you could buy your brand new dream car that you want, right? Mine happens to be the Maybach GLS 600. Okay. And you could literally show up to your kid's school in style, get all the boys to baseball practice. And guess what? Feel so confident and good. And everyone's going to be asking you, how did you do it? You're going to be the star of the show. Do you guys get it? Okay. So I just gave you 4 ways to market the same opportunity based on who it is that may be listening. And in this case, because this live and this challenge is not necessarily for any one of those four in particular, the four that I gave you is how I'm addressing it. So if you're listening to me and you're one of those four, something that I said in one of those different categories should have made you at least get curious enough to head over to the website, makemoneywithtracy.com, put your email in there and check it out. Because everything I said is true, but I literally just worded it to you differently based on the type of buyer that you are. Okay? So, with that being said, head over to the website now, get your hands on the free blueprint, get plugged into the Legacy Builder community. And guess what, guys? I will see you all back on tomorrow for day number 20. Yes, we are moving into the 20s and we've got about 70 more days to go. So we aren't hardly done just yet. All right. So hope you've been enjoying this. Make sure you have your stamina, your perseverance, and everything to implement and learn what I shared today. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.